Hi, I'm Terry, and welcome to another video. It's been a while. Have you been? I've been busy. Yeah, we've had some personnel changes at the restaurant, and until I get them trained well enough that we can leave them on their own, I'm spending a lot more time there now than I would like to, which the restaurant's doing great, by the way. Business is really booming. Which is, again, why I'm spending so much time there. But hopefully within the next month or so, I should get some more free time to be able to come back and shoot some more of these videos. If you have subscribed, I'm up to 153 subscribers now. Thank you. Also, please leave likes and comments on the videos that you like the subject matter of, and give me some comments about which videos, which type of videos you would like to see more of, because I don't just do black powder shooting videos. I've also done one about some drones, which I will be getting my drone out again also. Winter in the South, you know, it's just ugly. It's just, everything is just gray and ugly. There's no snow, no ice storms, nothing to really go out and shoot anything, you know, spectacular shots from the air. It's just ugly. So everything's starting to green up a little bit. In fact, I'm going to start mowing the yard tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be getting my drone back out again. Also, could do some more cooking videos. I could do some more prepping videos. If you remember, I did the car survival challenge, and I've done the what's in my prepper pack. Could also do some more on that type of subject matter if you'd like. But anyway, thanks for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, then please do so if you want to keep seeing videos like this. So, if you remember, the last video that I posted was a test of my homemade 75 caliber bamboo rope and iron wire hand cannon. 75 caliber. Yeah, to recap the results on that test, I did not blow it up, as you can clearly see, but I did split the breech open. But it took 120 grains of F GoX black powder to do it. Now, to keep that in perspective, a 75 caliber musket would typically shoot an 80 to 90 grain charge of F, which this handled just fine in F. I had to go up to 120 grains to split the breech open. So could one make a practical hand cannon or handgun out of bamboo? No. So the next step then was to reproduce this in iron, and I am working on that. I'm going to be using modern iron pipe, welded. That's what we'll start with. Again, 75 caliber. I'm going to try and recreate this type of cannon in modern iron pipe. Well, I've got all of the components purchased, but again, haven't had the time to actually sit down and work on it much, but I will be working on that. So, what am I doing out here today? Well, I do have a couple minutes. So I'm going to be doing another shooting video. That's right, boys and girls. This is my Pieta reproduction of an 1851 Colt Navy 3-inch snub nose in 44 caliber. Yes, I know, it is a fantasy gun. And you can tell by looking at it. The style of grip did not exist in 1851. I've gone over this before when I did a review on it. So go back and watch that video if you want to see a detailed review. This is a fantasy gun, but 44 caliber black powder revolvers did exist. They were the Army, not the Navy. And you know, any open top 44 caliber 3-inch snub nose is going to perform about the same. If you like Armies, you're going to think they're better. If you like Navies, you're going to think they're better. But realistically, I don't think you're going to see a big difference in them as far as their performance goes. So I think we can get some good data from this on any open top black powder snub nose firearm. So what am I going to be shooting? Well, first up, I've got two 5-gallon jugs of water that I'm going to be shooting. Now remember, the last time that I did a penetration test of black powder, I used two 2x6s. And then I went back and did 4 because it pretty much went right through those 2x6s. But a human is not quite as dense as a 2x6. In fact, humans are more closely related in density to water than to wood. We are, in fact, almost the same density as seawater, which is why we float. But we can also drown. That's why we're almost. But then when we do drown, we also float, for the most part. It's our clothes, shoes, boots, heavy objects on us that typically drag us under. And the next target. We got meat. That's right. Good old-fashioned meat. This is a bone-in Boston butt. I'm going to leave the plastic on to sort of represent skin. And yeah, it's bone-in. Did I mention that? Did I mention it's bone-in? It has a big old ass bone in it. Yeah, I'm going to shoot that. I'm going to shoot some real meat. Not as realistic a scenario maybe as like a Paul Harrell type target, with the leather piece of leather for the skin, and then the meat, and then the oranges, and then some more ribs, and yada 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 yada. Yeah, let's see how this one works. I might come back and do that, but let's see. So I'm going to shoot 2 rounds into the water jug, and then a couple of rounds into the meat. I'm going to see if I can get at least 1 round into the bone, and then try and miss it with a round or 2. And let's look it over and see what we got. Okay, so first up, the water jug. And again, I'm going to shoot from close range, about 3 to 5 feet. And that's for several reasons. One is because that's really the range that these little snub noses were actually intended for. That's one reason why they're called belly guns. And of course, safety first. So, oh, by the way, I'm doing another test. I'm actually doing another test. I've heard on other forums, I've read other people who clearly don't know jack squat about black powder. Their arguments for why black powder is totally ineffective for everyday carry self-defense. One of the big reasons they give is that you can't leave them loaded like you can a contemporary firearm, or they won't shoot. I've heard one. I've even read several comments where people said that you have to unload them every single day and then reload them. Okay, I haven't shot this gun in about 6 months now. If you remember the last video that I shot on the 2x6 test, I actually fired it, I think, 1 time after that. So this gun has been loaded, caps and all, for about 6 months. It's loaded with 30 grains of FFF GoX, 45 caliber round lead ball, and CVA number 10 caps. And I've actually carried this everywhere I go, pretty much. Out in the humidity, the heat, the cold, indoors, outdoors. This has not been kept in a environmentally controlled gun safe. So let's test that out too. Let's test that theory out about the longevity of the loads on black powder. Okay, so now let's see what we do with the meat target. I've set both water jugs up on their sides behind it. There's still enough water in them. If I hit the meat Boston butt there right about in the middle, then they'll still have to go through 2 5-gallon jugs of water before stopping. Maybe we'll be able to catch some. I don't know. Let's find out. Well, that was a real surprise. Both rounds went through that Boston butt, through 10 gallons of water, and straight on out. I really did not expect that much penetration, considering the 2x6 test. This is very interesting. From this side, it looks like I missed the bone. The bone is over here, right in through here, and I hit here and here. So it looks like this one just missed that bone. I'm going to try one more round right about in here to try and hit that bone, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so what happened? Well, all 4 rounds went right through that Boston butt. I know one hit the bone for sure. One maybe have hit it. Let me show you something here. You can see here all 4 rounds. This is 1, 2, and 3. These are the 2 that I fired originally. 5. One round, I'm pretty sure, was this one. There's nothing down in there. There it is. One got trapped in here at the bottom. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, I don't know if it will focus, but this looks like the one that hit the bone because it's really kind of deformed a lot. And it went through the pork butt, went right through that bone, through the muscle, through the bone, got stuck in the gallon jug. The others that missed the bone didn't even slow down much. I mean, they just went right through it. So, what can we take away from this? Well, at close range, anyway, and in .44 caliber, that little 3-inch snub nose is one hell of a weapon. It went through 10 gallons of water, 2 separate jugs. That means it went through 4 sheets of plastic and 10 gallons of water. And then 4 rounds went completely through that pork, big old chunk of Boston pork. Didn't blow it up like you know you'd expect from a modern one. You'd expect to see meat, big chunks of meat flying out the back in a big hole. Didn't do that, but it punched a hole right through it. And then the 3 shots that missed the bone went right through it, and then went through 10 gallons of water behind that. There was still some water left in those jugs. That's why I laid them over on their side. And the 4th one that hit the bone went through that bone and then got trapped in the water jug behind it, but still went completely through that Boston butt. And that's not a small bone. I mean, that's I'm going to say it's equivalent in density, thickness, probably to a pork rib. That would it go through a layer of pork ribs, some pectoral muscles like some pork chops, and then soft tissue like oranges, and then another layer of ribs. Who knows? Probably would get stuck in that last layer of rib. But that can be a pro, not a con, because then you wouldn't have to worry about killing an innocent person standing behind the bad guy who needs to be taken down. And all of the energy of that bullet would be delivered into the target. Now, looking at that deformation from that, as that hit that bone, it didn't deform it all that much. It wouldn't take, yeah, I don't think I could reuse that. I could melt that down. I'm going to melt this down and recast it and reuse it, but there's not a lot of deformation on that bullet. I'm not going to compare it to a modern firearm. I'm just going to say that at close range, with 30 grains of triple F and a round ball, That is one deadly little weapon, my friend. This thing will put a big man down if it hits a vital organ. Now that's the thing. Because it's traveling at less than the speed of sound, there's going to be very little, if any, hydrostatic shock involved. That's why the meat didn't explode as it came out the back. It just punched a hole through it. Okay, if you miss the heart, you miss the lungs, you miss the liver, you miss the pancreas, you miss the spine, you miss a major artery, the guy's going to keep coming at you. You hit any of those things, and you're not going to knock him off his feet, but, you know, come on, he's dead. Might take a few seconds for him to drop, but that doesn't matter. You punch a hole through the heart, you pop a lung, that's it, they're done. Unless they can get to immediate medical attention. And sometimes even then, they're done. Again, killing anyone with a handgun is problematic at best. And that is a fair assumption. There have been people who've been killed with one shot, dead on their feet, and there have been people who got shot 8, 9 times and were still fighting. Okay, literally running up with a knife in their hand and had to be shot again. Who knows? I don't think I'm going to be laughing at this anymore, though. That was some serious penetration. So, as always, thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.